3 1/2 cups of water, 2 teaspoons of salt, 1/3 cup of oil, 3 or 4 tablespoons of honey. Give it a little stir to loosen the honey up. Next, you'll add 8 cups of flour. I generally do a combination of 7 cups of whole wheat flour and 1 cup of all-purpose flour. And you will definitely want to add in 1/2 cup of gluten flour, sometimes called vital wheat gluten. I like to add in my yeast as I begin the blending of the liquids and the flour. This recipe will need 3 tablespoons of yeast. I initially let this blend just long enough to make sure all of the water and flour is incorporated. Don't follow my example, but I will use a scraper while the KitchenAid is blending to scrape down any flour that's stuck on the sidewalls. But once everything is well incorporated, then I will turn the blender off and let it rest for 3 minutes. I heard from an online baker several years ago that this short little rest period lets the gluten in the recipe activate, and I've tried it and it seems to make a difference in my bread, so I still do it every time. Once that little rest period is over, I will turn the KitchenAid back onto a level 2, which is the only level you ever want to knead bread at on a KitchenAid. It can damage your motor at any other speed. I will let it knead for 2 minutes and then transfer this dough to an oiled bowl, and it will rise here for 20 minutes. Sometimes longer if it's a colder day, but usually 20 minutes is long enough for this dough to double in size. Click on the video below to find out how many loaves of bread you can make with this recipe.